Many of you may already know that I'm extremely bullish on small cap stocks overall in the year of 2024. But there is one small cap stock that I would consider to be my dark horse and or underdog pick for the year ahead. And in this video, I want to talk about what it is and why. My name's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to Waves Capital. All right, you guys, before we get into specifics, please let me know in the comments down below, what is your number one dark horse or underdog stock pick for 2024? Super curious as to what you guys have to say there. If you aren't subscribed, you want to ride the waves through the new year, then subscribe to the channel, join Waves Capital. And of course, if you want to know how I'm trading this stock, that isn't much of a secret, but if you want to know how I'm trading this stock along with every other small cap stock in my portfolio, then that is the first link in the description of this video. My complete portfolio and daily trade alerts and email newsletters. Of course, you get a full breakdown of my entire portfolio. There's this stock along with many others that we discuss here on the channel. I think there's like 10 to 15 different small cap stocks in the portfolio right now. So first link down below. And of course, you do receive my daily trade alerts once again. And you guys, I'm really just excited for the year ahead of us. So look forward to seeing you there. Of course, if you want to trade options too, this options trading course is going from $19 to $29 at midnight on the day of posting. So hop on that if you like. That said, let's get into the video. All right, so I already, dark horse pretty much means underdog, but let's just quickly read over this. The saying dark horse usually means an unexpected winner. For example, a presidential candidate who comes from behind to surprise everyone by winning the election could be considered the dark horse. So again, it just means underdog. And when I'm talking about dark horse, underdog, this being my stock pick, you guys already know it's Redwire. It's all over the tabs right here. But this doesn't, this should be obvious, but I can't guarantee that this stock is going to outperform every other stock in the market or even on my watch list. When I say dark horse or underdog, it means that this isn't necessarily on many people's radar. It's going to be on some of yours, especially if you're part of the portfolio group, of course. But Redwire is such a low-key stock with a market cap. Let's take a quick look here. A market cap of only $190 million in the space. Okay, it's in the space sector, and I really do think that the space sector is going to pop off over the course of this year with the likes of SpaceX and just space exploration, space tech just gaining more cultural popularity in the zeitgeist, and of course along with the technical innovation as well. Okay, so Redwire is my stock pick. Once again, I can't guarantee that this is going to outperform every other stock in the market, but when analyzing asymmetric risk profile in my head, and that's really the key word in my decision to make this my underdog pick, it means that the potential returns significantly outweigh the downside risk. Okay, so in that sense, just to sum that up, I think that a small investment in this stock could potentially go a long way. And if I'm wrong, even in the case that I'm wrong, the downside is fairly mitigated because, to be completely honest, if we look at Redwire on the charts real quick, we'll get into the charts on TradingView in a little bit. But when you just look at this chart, relative to most stocks in the market, when taking Redwire's financials into account, which we're of course going to do, this stock really hasn't been doing very well. And I do think that the upside is pretty damn great. I'm talking like 2 to 3, maybe 4, even 5x upside potential over the duration of 2024. And the downside, to be completely honest, I think is no lower than $2.40. Okay. So again, the upside potential significantly outweighs the downside risk, in my opinion. Okay. So let's talk about Redwire. We're not going to go into all of the articles, go into a deep investor presentation. I'll allow you guys to do that on your own time if you're interested in the stock. This video is more intended to put this on your radar if it's not already yet, and give you a decent idea of my thoughts around why this stock fundamentally and technically could perform well in the year ahead. Okay, so let's quickly read over just a few of their little homepage segments here, just briefly describing in their own words what the company is, and then we'll talk technicals. Okay, so Redwire is accelerating humanity's expansion into space by delivering reliable, economical, and sustainable infrastructure for future generations. Integrated mission enabler. Redwire is a key mission enabler with products relevant to almost every space mission, including power generation, antennas, deployable solutions, star trackers, and camera systems. Explore, live, and work in space for the benefit of humanity. Redwire is developing capabilities that are critical for people to live and work in space, which includes microgravity payloads, platforms, and in-space manufacturing and biotech facilities. Biotech is an exciting word there, and really, with some of the progress they've been making in that space-related biotech sector, I would say that's the singular aspect or kind of focus of this company that has me personally the most excited about it. That's super exciting. Okay, so multinational mission support. Redwire is supporting ambitious multinational space exploration through products that are critical to international mission operations. All right. Once again, you guys, you can go read. I definitely encourage you, especially if you're considering investing or trading this stock, go read over some of their press releases. Look at it, just Google Redwire News and just read over some articles there. I am very closely paying attention to all the articles that come out on this company, and I'm always impressed. So before we dive into the charts and I discuss, I'll say my conservative and more bullish price targets as far as the next couple of months are concerned. And then we'll zoom out and go a little further than mid-February, which is where this red line is, just to make it so it's we're talking like 30 or like 45 days out. But I'll zoom out too, and we'll talk about later 2024, latter half 2024 price targets too. Okay, so anyway, before we do that, I do want to take a look at the revenue metrics, but not on CNBC because I actually like TradingView's interface for this more. So move my fat head real quick. We'll go to earnings, but more importantly, their income statements. Okay, so Redwire. Let's go to more financials real quick. All right, more financials. Move my fat head back here. Okay. When you see Redwire, okay, it's very important to first off realize that they are not yet profitable, okay? And that will always be somewhat of a red flag. But if you're being realistic about a lot of these small cap stocks and extremely revolutionary sectors, profitability is pretty rare, okay? And that's just a matter of being small and growing at a rapid pace. But when we look at Redwire, Q1 of 2022, 32 million in revenue. Q2 of 2022, I'm not going to read over each of these, but I'll go 36.7 mil. We got 37.2 mil the next quarter, 53 mil, that's a massive jump, 57.6 mil, 60 mil, and 62 mil. So this company is growing at an extremely impressive pace year over year. And the important thing is too that they're getting closer and closer to profitability. Okay, it's trending in the correct direction. And when you take the amount of this revenue into account, and some of the contracts that they've been locking in and some of the deals that they've been making, which again, we're not going to get into now. Go Google that. It's super, super promising. But overall, it's impressive. What makes it exceptionally impressive, there we go, is the fact that they're doing this revenue with a market cap of $190 million. So let's just see. I don't know if they have the 2023 numbers out just yet. 2022, they did 160 million. If we just go to quarterly right here again, Q1 of 23, 57, 60, 62. They haven't announced obviously the next quarter, the next fiscal quarter. But if you're just taking this into account, you're looking at, $250 to $300 million in annual revenue. Again, they're not profitable, but they're getting there, which is, again, absolutely insane for a company with a market cap of $190 million. They're doing more revenue per year than the market capitalization of their company. And that's what excites me about this and really excites, some other analysts as well. That's why I have CNBC up here. I don't put a whole lot of weight on analyst ratings, and neither should you. You should put some weight on them, of course, very dependent upon who the analyst giving the rating is. But you can see here we have 3 buys and 1 strong buy. There's only 4 analyst reviews, which isn't all that much. But again, that's what makes this an under-the-radar, exciting dark horse stock. And the highest price target is at $9, with the lowest at $5. Keep in mind, we're sitting just below $3 right now on the chart. So the lowest price target is $5, average being $6, and the highest being $9. Okay, and $5 will come pretty closely in line with my shorter term price analysis. And $9 by the end of the year wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Let's dive into the charts right now. Okay, so there are a multitude of factors that lead me to believe from a technical perspective that Redwire will see upside over the next, again, this is February 15th right here, this red line right here, this vertical line. Over the next 45 days, over the next month and a half or so, I do think Redwire, I'll say now, will be sitting at $4 or higher. Okay? One of the reasons, there is an inverse head and shoulders panning out right here. Okay, an inverse head and shoulders is the bullish sibling of the head and shoulders pattern. You can see here a large move creating the arm, this parallel, this kind of sideways trading range creating the first shoulder. You get the head, you get that dip up, and then a range that is parallel to this one, not parallel, I'm sorry, but just level with this one, creating that symmetrical shoulder line, okay? And then you get the symmetrical arm line as well. So I do think that this is a pretty textbook looking inverse head and shoulders pattern. That is one of the reasons of a few, which we'll get into, that I do believe will make our way at least up to $4. If you really want to take the top candle wicks in, that would be around $4.30. But I think $4 is completely reasonable for this inverse head and shoulders pattern. It's also just a range. I mean, $4 is a strong psychological even, so it makes sense that we would see some resistance there as we have historically. Okay, so that is one. The second, there is a line of supports that was on that Redwire was dealing with on its significant uptrend over here that it has yet to retest as new resistance. Okay, TA 101. If there is a significant trend line, whether it be support or resistance, it's likely that upon a reversal of trend. In this case, again, Redwire broke support. We reversed downwards. Now we are seeing a reversal to the upside. I do think this broken support, this yellow line right here, will come into play as new resistance. And of course, completely dependent upon when we test that is what will dictate the price, the share price of the stock upon when it strikes this trend line. If we strike it in mid-February, that would take us up to $4, $4.30, kind of similar to the very apex or peak candle wicks of the inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so that's that. On top of that, Redwire is in this long-term kind of descending triangle. More, I would say it's almost more of a trading range because I kind of consider just like that. Like, just you could see we're peaking out at about 420, 430. So it is just kind of a massive sideways range with this red line down here around 230, 240 being the base, the floor of that range. And, 420, 430 being the roof of that range. So again, you guys, this is resistance. It comes nicely in line with this nice round $4 region. And I do think that's the likelihood, especially once again, when considering all of the fundamental financial reasons that we just discussed, along with, once again, the fact that I do believe space will gain cultural momentum in 2024, lead me to believe that $4 is a fairly conservative price target. And again, I do think we could go much higher. So on top of that, I will say, if you look at the watch list right here, Redwire was up like 3.5%, while pretty much the majority of the market was bleeding out on the first trading day of 2024. People locking in the capital gains for the next tax year, which makes sense. You don't want to pay them in 2023. You want to pay them a year and a half from now. So that's just a good sign in itself. And I'm definitely glad that it panned out this way on the day I chose to make this video. Okay, so that's the shorter term, you guys. Just to zoom out in the long term, let's get rid of that. That was for the newsletter. If we zoom out here, it's going to start to look a little congested. I apologize for that. But when we zoom out, okay, you can see here, actually, I'll just keep this stuff up here, okay? So you can see here that there are multiple levels from 2022 when Redwire, was doing good along with everything else, okay? So I do think that these levels will come to play. Historical floors and ceilings come into play as new floors and ceilings. That's just how charting works a lot of the time. So my first target is going to be the line of supports on the floor that was in play over here. You can see, so I'm just using the very bottom candle wick because that's more conservative in my mind. April 28, 2022, this was in play for about a month over here, and this has yet to be retested. This floor has yet to be retested as new resistance. So I'm not even, you guys can just draw these similar lines in the charts for yourself. You can see like this 550, 560 region is coming into play for me, 630. And then there is a gap level up here at about $7.10, which, hey, if things start to go crazy, could go way higher than that. But from a technical perspective, I wouldn't be surprised at all. If we see a small cap rally in Q1 and Q2, like I believe we will, I really wouldn't be surprised to see Redwire break above $7 prior to the summer of 2024. Okay, so that's my take, you guys. I hope that, again, I hope you don't do anything. Or I hope you do whatever you choose to do. That's what I mean. But If you guys are interested in Redwire, just let me know in the comments down below. If you were already trading it, let me know. This is the first time you've heard about it and you're excited about it, let me know. Or if you're not, and there's other stocks you're excited about, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Happy 2024, you guys. I'm so pumped to ride through the new year, I guess, with you guys. And let's make waves. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves once again. Until next time, guys. Peace.